Hello and welcome. I'm Theolyn Cortens. I teach people how to be clear about their soul's purpose and find the confidence to activate it in the world. I began studying meditation and spiritual traditions in my teenage years. When I was 30, my mystical quest became more intense after I had a powerful illumination experience that led me to communicate with angels. I've been writing and teaching workshops and courses since 1993. And I've also researched spiritual experiences for a master's degree. I want to share what I know because when more people experience the magical realms that sustain our everyday reality, then we will all begin to transform what is going on, and humanity will start to realize its true divine potential. We are standing in an historical moment of great change, and the possibilities are awe-inspiring. So, how can we step into transformation and create a new, better vision for the future? What do you believe about reality? What do you believe about your consciousness? What do you believe about your role in the collective future of humanity? Millions of people on this planet believe in an omnipotent deity that organizes everything. The only free will humans have in that scenario is the free will to accept the will of a God. And if they don't, they will have to work very hard to be forgiven, or they will be punished. Millions of other people scoff at the idea of a God, and they believe a secular scientific story that reduces all reality to subatomic particles that go about their automated activities with no concern for humanity. So there is no room for human free will in that predetermined version of the cosmos either. Neither of these stories give us any opportunity for genuine metaphysical or spiritual freedom. But there are some ancient spiritual traditions that insist human consciousness is endowed with magical creative abilities. And these teachings are found both in the yogic texts and in Jewish Kabbalah. Think of being in the world as living in a landscape where the weather has its own agenda and you are affected by sun or wind or rain, whatever. Your life story seems to be dictated by what we could describe as karmic weather. When you incarnate as a new human being, you will drop into this psychic weather that is going on for everybody. It's the same weather for every new human being. It's there waiting for you. You will also meet your families present and also their historical weather. And you personally bring with you fair or foul weather from your past lives. You can't escape the psychic weather. You are like the captain of a ship, hoping to achieve a mission, but having to deal with whatever cloudy or sunny days happen to unfold as you set sail. That's one way to think of your life. You have to become stoical, accepting the weather forecasts and adjusting your course accordingly. But this is not the whole story. Remember how Jesus walked on the water and calmed the storm? There are so many ancient stories of masters and magi who could alter reality and get through what seemed impossible situations by using their creative intention to achieve a good result for themselves and for those around them. The ancient teachings explain that in order to step into this role as a magician, able to manipulate the conditions for the best opportunities, you need to function from a different level of consciousness. And this is where it gets very interesting. First, you meditate. Now, when I say meditate, I don't just mean being in the now or being mindful. A lot of people think meditation is a stress-busting opportunity designed to help you feel generally calmer in the face of life's daily challenges. And it can certainly do that for you. But here's the important message I want to deliver. Meditation can get you to a state of consciousness that allows you to change the psychic weather and change your daily reality according to your soul's deepest desires. Meditation, when done properly, is a practice that gives you a direct experience of what is called the numinous. And that enables you to become aware of the underlying fabric of divine energy, the field of universal consciousness that is creating and sustaining everything. This energy is powerful, intelligent, compassionate. It is often experienced as a vibrating ocean of light energy. This is divine source, out of which everything is created, rather like the Matrix in the famous film. And once you have a direct experience of the numinous during meditation, you will begin to realize how powerful you can be as an individual. Second, when you have reached divine source, you focus your intention. Then the deep magic of your personal consciousness engages with the vastness of the divine energy. Let me share a metaphor from my own experience that might help you think about this. For many years, I worked as a dress designer. In my workshop, we created wedding dresses and ball gowns using pure silk or sometimes velvet fabrics, often with pearls and crystals sewn on. So think of the vastness of creation as a piece of fabric that is being constantly woven. This is not to a fixed forever design, but as an ongoing, constantly developing experimental work of art. This is the tapestry of life, and we are all involved in the weaving of it. None of us are in charge of the whole operation. This is a co-creation. But we can all take responsibility for how our corner of the tapestry begins to reveal itself. You could say we can all choose to stitch on pearls and crystals. So how can you learn to do this? As the first stage in the Shefa method, I teach zero meditation, a fast an efficient technique which will take you down deep into the divine source, which is the ground of your own being, the ground of your consciousness. And this is where you get a direct experience of the light. Zera is a Hebrew word meaning seed. I wonder if maybe you have already experienced meditation using a Sanskrit mantra. But here I have chosen a 3-syllable Hebrew phrase for you to use in the same way that you might have used a mantra. And a zera will do exactly the same work as a mantra. So you may ask, why Hebrew and not Sanskrit? Well, once I had started to communicate with archangels, I decided for myself to use Hebrew because it's much more appropriate for the Middle Eastern tradition of angels. But actually, either Sanskrit or Hebrew would do for the purpose of accessing the divine source. This is because they are both ancient sacred languages based on primordial sounds. Primordial sounds are the pure vibrations of the universe. And the sounds we use for meditation practice don't actually belong to any special religious or ethnic group. It's only because those languages have developed in past generations that we associate them with India or with the Middle East. And we are only interested in the sounds. We're not interested in the religious traditions. So here is an example of a primordial sound. Shh. Shh. This sound can be heard when you stand by the ocean, listening to the waves coming and going. It is a universal sound. This sound is also the universal white noise left over from the Big Bang, which is beyond ordinary human hearing, but is picked up by telescopes. When I teach zera meditation, everyone uses the same zera. I don't choose individualized zeras. I will also tell you what it means. But I do suggest you keep it to yourself and you don't share it with anyone, because the intensity of using it privately is very beneficial. When you learn zera meditation, I am teaching you to get back to your original awareness, a state of expanded light consciousness, beyond thoughts. You learn how to float in this ocean of light, how to surrender to its power, its wisdom, its love. Then you move into stage 2 of this process. You begin to focus your intentions and you become a proactive co-creator. This is when you can pick and choose the pearls and crystals you would like to stitch into your personal reality. And the pearls and crystals will also be for the delight and blessings of those around you. So what do I mean in this context by choosing pearls and crystals? I mean choosing simple, dynamic thought intentions that will be introduced into your deepest consciousness as characters from an ancient alphabet. Each character is a letter from an ancient metaphysical series from the Jewish mystical tradition. You could think of them as mini logos. This would be a very suitable way to describe them, because logo comes from a Greek word, logos, meaning a word. So what we are doing here is introducing new words into the story or the narrative of our lives. And in this way, we change reality. Each character presents itself as one or more tiny orbs of light connected with lines or threads of light. A character carries your intention. For example, one character describes the thought, deep peace. So you can think of the characters as the pearls or crystals. There are 22 different characters. When you enroll on the Shefa Method course, you first learn how to use the Zira to get you into that deep state of consciousness where you can begin to co-create with the divine. Then I teach you how to introduce characters while your awareness is hovering on the edge of the ocean of divine light. There are 4 characters in the Shefa Method course, and I've chosen those as the best options for you to begin with. Deep peace is one of them. Another is loving relationships. You can see how simple these shapes are to remember. You will practice recalling them as inner visuals and then floating them in your consciousness while you are still in your meditation. And gradually you will notice how your reality begins to change in your everyday life. After completing the Shefa Method, if you want more characters to experiment with, you can enroll on Shefa Expansion and get to experience all 22 characters, a delightful array of pearls and crystals to play with. The Shefa Method is an 8-module course which will take you 8 weeks. Shefa Expansion will add another 6 weeks. You can opt just to follow the Shefa Method and you can add Shefa Expansion later, or you could sign up for a package of both courses, which is more economical. You can enroll on the Shefa Method and Shefa Expansion as self-study courses, or you can take the supervised version where I support you via regular telephone, Skype or FaceTime sessions. If you want to find out more, visit Theolyn.com for details. And I look forward to supporting you on your soul's journey. Many blessings.